Sir Jim Ratcliffe and INEOS have dropped a shocker to Ruben Amorim and the entire Manchester United fraternity. What exactly is going to happen in this January? Ruben Amorim will have no money to spend. There is no budget to improve the Man United squad in the January transfer window. According to both Ruben Amorim, he has confirmed this, and of course, credible sources from The Athletic have come up as well to confirm what we suspected, but really we're not sure it was really this bad. Welcome to the United Sport. Here is a breaking update concerning Manchester United, guys. After that terrible final game of the season, Ruben Amorim looked subdued, he looked dejected, dumbfounded, he looked so sad. He would perhaps need someone to guide him and pick him up, to lead him to his way home. He certainly was thinking probably a million things, and the thoughts he had were, I think, to find solutions, but they should be from within unless Manchester United sells. According to Ruben Amorim, it's clear now Man United is in a sell to buy situation. He said this, and he told the journalists, the media, you know this as well as I do, perhaps even more than I do, that the situation we are in is so bad we cannot buy players to improve the squad in January. And this has been confirmed. There is no budget for INEOS to be able to improve this squad. Now, INEOS, we do know for a fact, have spent a lot of money compensating people who have been sacked after new contracts, like Eric Ten Hag, talk about Dan Ashworth and staff, several other people who have left the club and had to be compensated. But we understood what they were doing. They were trying to change things around. But I think in their acquisition of Ruben Amorim, they were hoping he was going to teach these players to play better football. That's why they brought him in as a head coach and not as a manager per se. But it is taking time to work. It's slowing. In fact, Ruben Amorim, in his own words, said they are not improving properly. He felt players are forgetting the same things they were improving on in the past games, and you would look clearly in his eyes and see it's killing him, it's draining him. He must be thinking, what did I get myself into? The situation at Man United is that bad. So we are in a proper sell to buy situation where we've got to sell players like Marcus Rashford. Who is going to buy him in Jan? That's the thing. That's the question. I think they could buy him because I do believe in January and in the current situation, clubs can get Rashford, a decent player, for a small fee. So I still have hope that United could sell Rashford. I do believe that Atletico Madrid might be serious on buying Garnacho. Atletico are looking competitive in the La Liga. They do want to improve their squad. They bought so many players. They do have the money to spend, always have the money to spend. I do believe they've got some connection with Garnacho that they might want to rekindle in January. That's the hope we have, because those two are the only players you believe can bring in any decent amount of money that can be used to try and improve the squad. But if that does not happen, for me, there should be solutions. That will not be the end of the world. This is what I think, guys, and I've been saying this. They say that when the going gets tough, the tough get going, but also you become most creative during your worst of hardships, the worst of times. I think it can't get any worse than this for Manchester United. I think this is the time that Ruben Amorim should creatively find solutions from within. Because think about it. Several clubs have trusted young people, and these young people have shocked them, have shocked the world. I strongly believe for Man United, the situation we are in is not to compete for the Premier League title yet. No one expects Ruben Amorim to win the Premier League title this season or even next season, if we are being honest. What we believe is Ruben Amorim to consistently improve this team. He's not certainly going to improve Man United with the current crop of players. What then has he got to do? If there is no money to buy in new players, just look from within, because there was a lot of money that was spent already in the previous summer. Whether it was spent well or bad, the beauty is most of it was spent on young players. My view is let him immediately, without even wasting any time, start now building the team with the young players. With the young players who are the future. The team will lose games because young players need time to adapt and grow, but let him start teaching them, because trying to teach Lisandro Martinez, trying to teach Harry Maguire, trying to teach Bruno, trying to teach Casemiro and Eriksen how to play a new system they have probably never played before is extremely difficult. Yet, whenever people see them out on the pitch, their expectation is they should be performing. My view is Amorim should start looking from within and look at the under 21s, the under 18, and focus on the young players to get solutions. Because it is what it is. The financial fair play rules are not going to be bent to favor Man United. This is not the La Liga where rules can be bent to in a court to favor Barcelona. This is England. This is English football. Rules won't be bent to favor Man U. It's not going to happen. So look from within and you'll be shocked by the solutions you can find. Because I'll tell you, a few seasons ago, Arsenal, I think, had the youngest squad, probably. I think during the captain was, I think, about 23 or 22 or thereabout, Odegaard. Right now, they have grown together. They were naive, but you could see they were exciting. They were coach trainable. They were promising, and eventually, it's now beginning to make sense because the fans saw it. They saw that by the time the coach Mikel Arteta inherited the squad, he had a bunch of young players in the old players rather in the Ozils of this world, in players like Aubameyang, in Lacazette, name them. They knew that whereas these players were big name players, if they were going to build something new, they had to let go of them and trust the young ones. I'm telling you, Ruben Amorim needs to do this like yesterday. Immediately, this second half of the season, we want to see young stars introduced one after the other. Because I strongly believe that the young people that Man United recruited in the previous window were not so far off the senior team. They just need trust. Young players, young people only need to be trusted. If you don't trust them, it's on you. You're inviting pressure on yourself. But if you trust these young people, they will first make mistakes which you will understand because they are young, they are learning, but they will learn from their mistakes. And you see, young people of today learn so quickly. You do recall that Kobe Maino, in his first games at Man United, when we all saw the potential he had, there is a terrible mistake he made. I forget the team we were playing where we considered a goal. I don't think he has made anything close to such a mistake since then because he learned from his mistake. He looked better from then. Of course, before he dropped off recently in the past few games since he got injured. But now he's looking like, at least if you judge by his last performance, perhaps he's looking like he's getting back now. But the thing is, young people just need to be trusted. When you trust them, they can get you the results. So the situation might be worrying and disappointing because I know several Man United supporters who thought that when Sir Jim Ratcliffe came in, it meant that United now he's going to have a lot of money to dish out on players in the summer or in the transfer windows. But unfortunately, we don't have that luxury the way Chelsea had it. The situation with Man United is so far different from the situation with Chelsea. We are talking of a Man United where the Glazers took loans with players as collateral, where players have long contracts where they earn a lot of money, where the whole squad is terrible. Chelsea was overhauled with a squad, but with a squad that could still compete. The Chelsea squad wasn't even half as bad as the Man United squad. They were okay. The squad that was overhauled from the Mendy's of this world, Eduardo Mendy, the goalkeeper, all the players who were dished out to Saudi Arabia and stuff were good players. They were still good players who could still compete. But Chelsea, that's why actually Chelsea let them go, and it was easy for them to sell these players because they had football in them. Right now, you might think of Man United being creative because, again, you are trying to create solutions. For me, the first immediate solution for me is to look within to the youngsters. But if that's not the case, then they might, because they need to sell to buy, they must be able to creatively find ways of convincing clubs to buy these mediocre players. Now, and the easiest clubs to convince are the ones in Saudi or Qatar. Now, they might not be so attracted by most of these players, but I do believe if Man United are creative and intentional, they can try to sell at least 3 or 4 players to Saudi and get some money that's decent to be able to improve the squad in small departments. Bring in 2 or 3 marquee names and promote the youngsters, mix them with a few fairly okay players currently in the squad. There can be solutions found, and in this January, it's just the team, the people around the coach. This is not a job that's going to be done by Ruben Amorim. Amorim's job is to work with what he has. It's not his job to recruit. He can recommend, but it's not him to find the man and find the creative ideas and ways they can get players in. Some players may not want to go to Saudi. I'll talk players like Rashford. He may not want to go to Saudi. But there should be a way Man United can creatively make these players go there if that's where the money is going to come. Because what United needs money, what United needs is money, and money can only come through sale of these players. Where they go, United shouldn't care. But they must talk to these players and their representatives, promise them perhaps percentages of the money. You see the way we handled Wan Bissaka. Wan Bissaka never probably wanted to go to West Ham. Neither did Scott McTominay want to go to Napoli. But they were given a share of the money these clubs paid to sign them. So these players want money. It's business at the end of the day. So if a player like Rashford has got a long contract and you want him out, he doesn't want to go to Saudi, but a club in Saudi is willing to give you 50 million or 60 million quid, then tell him, off the 60, 10 is yours. Please go. You can leave after 6 months. After all, players go there and leave after a short time. But we need the money. Just find ways of handling these players and talking to them to get it in their heads that we need money for this club to survive, because they wouldn't want anyway Manchester United to run distinct after their departure. So I think there can be solutions, but the first solutions should be coming from within by promoting these so many youngsters that we have, because our academy teams are performing extremely well. The under-18s were winning a treble. The under-21s are performing. We've got good players in all departments, from the back line to the midfield to the attack. There is so many wingers, name them. There is so many good players, high potential in the Man United academies that we do need to trust and think and believe in them. Give them the opportunities now, because the time is now. It's either now or never. This is the time for Ruben Amorim and the INEOS team to look from within and just find solutions. But that's where we are. That's the situation. Are you worried? Maybe you are. I am not. For me, like I said, blessing in disguise. I strongly believe there is talent within Man United. We don't have to look outside. In any case, we've signed all good players. The man has been so much there. It has been there. You can't fault the Glazers for not providing money for transfers. They have provided and provided. We don't need to keep doing the same thing. INEOS should handle with what they have and give it time. At least we have a good head coach who can teach young players football. My name is Webb. This is the United Road Sport. Like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what you feel should be done in the current situation. Cheers.